Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This will mark the start of a new opening system, the introduction. The topic of discussion will be the central cannon with pawn rank Chariot, a 7th pawn advancement versus Black's screen house defense with 7th pawn advancement and edge cannon for Chariot exchange variation. Now the name is very long and has been abbreviated as the edge cannon for Chariot defense, edge cannon for Chariot exchange variation. It is one of the major opening systems in Xiangqi and it can definitely be seen in almost all tournaments. Uh, there are there are several boards, and over the course of the next few weeks, we will be discussing this very important variations, which is very complicated and very versatile. So I hope you will enjoy this journey with me, and let us begin. Central cannon. Black goes for the screen house defense. The order of the moves might be changed slightly. For example, Black might play p7 plus 1 before playing h2 plus 3 later on. And as can be seen, both colors have chosen to push their 7th pawn. This is one of the main diversions in this opening system. If p3 plus 1, if red played p3 plus 1, it will be another huge major opening system. And red would play r2 plus 6, threatening preparing to threaten the black horse, and more importantly, prevent black from playing c8 plus 9. And since the chariot had advanced, red would offer a trade-off, cannons. Now, most of the time, red would refuse to trade chariots. If the chariots were traded, the situation would be simplified, and it could easily become a draw, which red would usually not want to happen because of his first move initiative. And black would retreat his cannon to the 3rd rank, and this would basically define the opening system. So central cannon, pawn rank Chariot versus black screen house defense, and edge cannon for Chariot exchange before retreating the cannon. Once the cannon is retreated over here, black will be prepared to play c9 equals to 7 and attack this relatively weak flank. Usually, it would end up with red attacking the central file, black attacking this flank, and with development of the material on both this flank and this flank, dependent upon the subvariations. Now there are many ways to play the position. For the first few boards, we will discuss red developing his left horse as a proper horse. And black will play a4 plus 5 as a prophylactic move. Now this move is very important because, first of all, it will consolidate the central file. Second of all, black will be prepared to play c2 minus 1 to link the cannon should the red chariot try to attack the cannons. Should the red chariot try to attack the cannons later on. And red, in this board, red will advance the horse to the riverbank very early. Now the main idea behind this move was that this horse was to lend support to the chariot in attack. It could also attack the central pawn if need be, and there are many other options for red. Now, one of the characteristics that the authors mentioned in this for this opening system is that red it would be very demanding on the player's skill to coordinate his forces for various tactical combinations, and this is usually a favorite of Xiangqi players with a more steadfast disposition. But the game could easily go into a very aggressive and complicated positions very quickly. So black would play c9 equals to 7 as earlier, and red will play r3 equals to 4. Note that if the advisor had not been moved, red will be prepared to play r4 plus 2 to threaten the black cannon. And in this This would be the position of discussion for this board. Black would attack with the external horse. Now, when the horse is moved over here, Black would be prepared to play p7 plus 1 to threaten to dislodge the chariot. And things will become very complicated very, very quickly. Now, there are two main variations that are discussed in this board. The first would be h6 plus 4, the other will be r4 minus 3. So, in variation A, h6 plus 4 is discussed. Now, this is usually not a good idea. Or perhaps the authors wanted to show the reason why. Now, although the horse at this point in time will also lend protection to the pawn, but the red chariot will now be in mortal danger. So black will continue with p7 plus 1, threatening to capture the red chariot, forcing the chariot to move away. And because black had moved the advisor, he cannot play r4 plus 2. Instead, r4 equals to 3 to threaten the cannon again. Now, is this move a viable move? The answer will be a resounding no, because black will be more than happy to trade chariots, and red will now capture the pawn, threatening to um, attack the elephant, and more importantly, prevent the horse from going for elbow horse attack. As can be seen at this point in time, by the 12th ply, red will only have one horse that had crossed the river, and although he would be going for the elbow horse attack, this chariot had not moved, and neither was this cannon. So, because the cannon had moved, there were weaknesses in the cannon rank. Red will go for the 5-7 cannons, preparing to play p7 plus 1 to capture the horse. Black will consolidate his defenses in preparation of p7 plus 1 and also allow for r1 equals to 4 if the opportunity arose. Red will develop the chariot, and black will play r1 equals to 2 to protect the cannon. Both colors will be pestering each other in this very sticky situation from here on. Okay, so r4 equals to 2 is not a good idea because black will be given too many chances. So r4 equals to 3, and it will be a good idea for black to retreat the horse at its time now. But with this move, the horse would protect the cannon and also attack the chariot at the same time. So black will still maintain some form of pressure on this file. h9, h8 minus 7 is not a good idea at this point because red could go for a trade of chariots and go for the elbow horse attack. Red would have the advantage. So from here on, black will eliminate the pawn. Red will threaten the offending horse. The black will attack the offending horse. Protect. Again, the horse would now be developed to attack the chariot. The chariot is forced back, and because the chariot had moved so many moves, red would incur a loss in tempo, and as can be seen, black would have upped his defenses for a very powerful and stable formation. So red's offensive would have fallen apart. There's nothing much that the red chariot can do. His left line was undeveloped, and it is very obvious that black would have the huge advantage by this point in time. Now to variation B, which is the recommended move. Although this would be an awkward position for the chariot, but it will be the best move at this point in time. Black would try to attack with this move, but this move, yeah, I don't know why. This was given as the variation, the main variation, but instead a better move would have been e3 plus 5 or e7 plus 5 to consolidate the defenses before making this move. This was also mentioned by the authors. But if black played c2 plus 4, red would push the central pawn forward, threaten the cannon. The cannon will capture the pawn, applying pressure on the elephant, forcing it to move away, and also prevent p7 plus 1 from happening. r1 equals to 2 to attack the cannon, to attack the horse. Threaten black will play aggressively with c2 plus 5 to attack the pawn, and red will simply go for a trade of material, and then red will continue to attack. Now, at this point in time, this is a tightly coordinated move. It would not be a good idea to play e7 plus 5 to protect the pawn, because black would simply play p3 plus 1 to offer a trade, and then retreat the chariot to threaten the cannon. And black would now be prepared to sacrifice the pawn and snatch the initiative away, because the cannons are poorly positioned, and there will be ample chances for red to attack. Once the pawn is pushed apart, red must capture, otherwise p7 equals to 6 will create all sorts of trouble for black. And r9 plus 1 is advocated instead of e7 plus 5. r2 equals to 3, sacrificing the cannon, as red was prepared to go for the iron bob checkmate. Now, red delivers a check, and red will protect his more important cannon in this manner, such that there will still be a threat of the iron bob checkmate. So red will be faster in this variation. Now, this is one of the possible lines in these very complicated variations. There are still many other variations that were discussed in many other books, and you can almost be sure that every tournament you will see new variations being played. So now let us review this board from the eyes of black. Central cannon, screen horse defense, 7th pawn advancement, 7th pawn advancement, pawn rank chariot, and edge cannon for chariot exchange variation. Red will usually refuse, black retreats, preparing to start a counter-offensive very early in the game. Red continues with h8 plus 7 for one of the most popular counters. a4 plus 5, an important move to make. h7 plus 6, red attacks and dislodge external rib pass. This will be the variation of discussion for this board. In variation A, red charges the horse across the river, which is brash and not ideal because his defenses were still lacking. p7 plus 1, dislodge, counter capture, counter protect and capture, eliminating the pawn, and now the black chariot will now charge in action and threaten the red horse, protect, attack, and red's offensive will fall apart. Black will be way ahead in terms of development of the material, and there will be many possibilities for black to continue. Variation B, r4 minus 3 will be the advocated move in this situation. A brash move by black with c2 plus 4. Instead, e3 plus 5 or even e7 plus 5 will perhaps be an even better option. p5 plus 1, counter capture, threatening the elephant, moving the elephant out of harm's way and also protecting this intersection. Chariot, counter threat, black plays aggressively with c2 plus 5, check, protect, r9 plus 1, tightly coordinated move by red. e7 plus 1 is not so ideal because black could charge his material across the river. r2 equals to 3, check, trade, and red will have the advantage. So I hope you like this video. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.